We'll give
Elijah, I'm just
people a
gonna,
couple of minutes to hop in here.
yeah, I'm just hitting record and make sure it's done.
Thanks, Dustin. Before we kind of kick things off, Violet and I we're hosting today. We'll give people just a quick little rundown of like what we're going to talk about. The first thing is we're going to talk about slingshot bonuses, how to get bonuses, how to get raises. If you're at an 80% to a 95% contract rate, that is for you. We're going to talk about schedule, how to iron that out so that you can be a consistent producer. Um, we're going to talk about how to prepare for appointments, how to know what to show, what carriers to do with, because as a new agent, it can be a little bit tricky. You're talking to somebody and you're like, I have no clue what to show them. And then we're going to open it up for a Q&A. We may not go for the whole hour today. There's so much freaking training out there, guys. And the
Yes.
goal of this call is just to like give you a little pause in your week to sharpen the axe, so to speak. But during non-income producing hours, that would kind of be the best time to double down on all of the other great training. And we'll show you some of those really good trainings as well. Um, but yeah, we'll give people a minute or so to kind of trickle in here. If you have people, text them. I
Yeah,
posted
that's what
in,
I'm doing right
yeah,
now. Where is everyone at this
I
morning?
I posted in the WhatsApp for the base shop and then in school as well. But dude, James, your dog is locked in right now. Like he's focused on the Zoom. This is so
As
cute.
soon as you said that, I looked up. I was like,
His dog
wow.
is like looking at the computer.
Oh, that's great.
I love it.
Hey, my cat does that. He sits like right here.
That's so funny.
He'll sit right here and he looks. Sometimes I'll put his mouse like his paw on the mouse,
That is
and
funny.
he looks like he's working.
I love it. I love it.
I'm like, if you could just like dial,
Yeah,
if I could teach my cat to dial,
that would be something. You got
you
to teach
know,
him to talk first.
he could pay the rent maybe.
I'm a big believer in monetizing your pets. Hey Joan, I think I'm getting some background music from you. Um, I've been monetizing my dogs recently, with some digital leads, like texting pictures of your dogs to book appointments. I've made a bunch of money in the last couple months doing that. Cool.
I've got a picture of my cat on the slideshow.
There you go. Yeah, that definitely helps. Cool, cool, cool. All right. Well, hey, let's kick this thing off. People will kind of trickle in. If you're late, you're late. That's on you.
There we go.
So, Violet, why don't we, you and I, why don't we establish a little bit of street cred? Okay. Just
Oh,
like I do on the podcast. I'm
absolutely.
gonna put you on the spot here. Okay. Give
Oh,
you
I
guys a
love it.
reason to listen because Violet's been in the game for a minute now. Violet, off the top of your head, what have you sold so far this year in annual premium? We can go capped, uncapped, I don't care, but like, what have you sold year to date? We're in August, 8 months in.
Man, I feel like that's like the Google question of the day, Elijah. I should
Yeah.
probably track that a little bit better.
Okay. While you're figuring that
Um,
out, what's been your
I
best month?
I mean probably 30K.
Okay. 30K in a month. I like it. My best month is a little over 60, I think 60 or 65. What's been your biggest year so far?
Around 300. Yeah, and let me
Okay.
let me see here because I know when we did half year, I have a picture here. We did half year.
Yeah.
What was I at? Like 128. Busted out the past couple of months. So, I don't know, I'm probably at like 175 or so for the year.
I love it. Year to date so far, I got my opt pulled up as of this morning, snuck in a little 600 AP,
There you go.
after getting freaking abused yesterday on the phones, guys. I'm at 202 applications, 302,000 in premium on the year. That used to be a record year for me. In 2023, that's what I sold for the year. And so doing that in a few months is pretty cool. And so
Absolutely.
um, the goal of this call is just to help people get what they want. You know, as an insurance agent, we want to sell policies, right? It becomes fun when you can sell policies every day or every week, and you can get into the valley of despair if you go days or weeks without selling policies. And so
Oh yeah.
the goal of today is just to help people kind of foster a little
Mhm.
bit more consistency and know what to do. Um, but yeah, Violet's a pro. She's an elite producer. I'm also an elite producer. She focuses a lot more on FIFs and advanced markets, obviously. IULs, annuities, infinite banking, all that fun stuff is kind of her bread and butter. I do a little bit of that, but honestly, I leverage Violet for that stuff, and I kind of focus on the everyday mortgage protection and life insurance type deal. So,
You know, Elijah, I gotta give you credit on that though. How impressive is that, you guys, that all of everything that Elijah does is exactly what you guys are doing, right? So the basics of purchasing leads, calling those leads, and selling those leads, guys. Elijah is doing that. So if you guys think that these leads don't work, think again. And he just got through telling you, how much have you done so far this year?
this year, 202 sales, individual policies, 302,000 in premium.
That's insane.
The goal
So
is 600 grand, so I need to average just over 50,000 a month the rest of the year to hit that.
good deal. Love
But
it.
yeah. So yeah,
Awesome. And
let
and yeah, so I know we wanted to talk about quite a few several things here today, you guys.
yeah, I
I
can
kind
share
of
my
want to
screen too
just
on some stuff.
I just want to toss some stuff in here. We're going to talk about bonuses
Yeah.
because as we're all making money, let's make more money. Why not? Right? That's why the system was created. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about our schedule, teach you some things on how to prep for appointment and knowing what to show as well. So we're kind of going to do a fun little rundown of everything here.
Yeah.
Um,
If you have questions, save them till the end. We will do a whole like Q&A after we talk about this stuff because I'm sure you guys will have some and we'll make sure no questions are unanswered unless they're dumb. I'm just kidding. No questions dumb. Well, let me share my screen here. We'll talk about promotion guidelines real quick. Is anybody on this call at a 95% or below contract rate?
Raise your hands. Let's be
Raise your
honest.
hands if you are. Don't be lying. Okay. We've all been
And
there.
turn your cameras on if you can too, guys.
Yes, unless you're in the bathroom.
Yeah,
Um,
we don't want to see that.
okay, so a lot of folks at a 95 or below. Violet, what contract rate were you at when you first became an agent? What did they start you at?
Oh my God, don't age me right now, Elijah. I don't even know.
It was
I
less than
want to say
80.
it was like 60% or
Yeah,
something.
that was mine too. When we started with Symmetry, it was ghetto, y'all. Okay. New agents started at a 60% commission rate. Now, leads were a lot cheaper back then. I don't know what happened. But if you're starting now, I mean, it's just so much easier to become profitable, especially with the new promotion guidelines. It's a lot easier and quicker to get a raise. So let me share my screen here. Can y'all see this?
Yes, sir.
All right, sweet. Has anybody not seen this? Okay, everybody should have seen this at some point. When I was brand new, guys, I printed this off and I had it on my desk so that I was seeing it every time I was working and I knew what I was fighting for. So there's two ways
Elijah,
of,
I will
yeah.
tell you, I am an agency owner and I still have this printed on my desk because now I need to know what me and my team need to accomplish in order to hit that next bump.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If you don't have a game plan of how you're going to move up these ranks, you're probably going to chill around here for a long time. And the truth is, we don't want anybody staying at an 80, 85, 90, 95, even 100% contract rate for more than a couple months. If you've not gotten a raise in the last 2 months, it's probably just because you're not doing the thing. But I want to show you guys how you could get bumped up to a 100% contract rate or a 95% contract rate in 3 months. That would be pretty cool. Now, why is this important? Um, a 5% raise may not sound like much, but it's basically $50 more per application that you write for each 5% raise. So if you're writing 20 policies in a month, a 5% raise is $2,000 more a month for doing the same thing. if you get another raise, now you're making 4 grand more for doing the same thing. And so the higher up you go, the easier it is to be that much more profitable. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
All right. Let's look at the fun stuff though, because I asked if people are at a 95 or less. Has anybody not seen the slingshot bonus? Is this anybody's first time seeing this? Okay, I see you, James. So I would focus on this, man. I would go in HQ and check this out, but this is a way that you can get a raise in half the time. So uh, traditionally, if you're at an 80% contract rate, all my brand new agents out here, you got to do 2,500 2 months in a row. If you issue 2,500, which is a freaking layup, by the way, guys. That's we're talking about two policies to get to an 85%. You could do that, or if you're a little bit of an overachiever, you just go out and sell 5 grand in a month, and then boom, you're at an 85% in half the time, by the way. But what's really cool, Violet, I want you to talk about the carrier kickers because you've gotten a bunch of producer bonuses over the years. It's really cool getting a bonus from Symmetry just for doing our job, just to get paid a little bit extra for being awesome. But this did not exist when I first got started.
Well, and let's be honest, Elijah, we didn't have a slingshot bonus either. We
No.
had to go the slow and steady pace, which was
Yep.
producing X amount 2 months in a row, right?
I had to
So
do
this,
12,000 to get to an 80% back then.
yes, I remember.
So it's a lot easier now.
So things are so easy for you guys. And this is even just another perk that Symmetry does give to you. So these are just some of our core carriers, you guys. You should know these well. Mutual of Omaha, SBLI, Americo, and Foresters. So when you are writing within your first 90 days with your core carriers, you are going to get additional bonuses. So, so right now, you guys, it's like we have so much good stuff going on with Symmetry because we have our digital product contest that's going on along with this. So if you are writing the Digi products with SBLI, not only are you going to get bonus from the carriers up to $1,000, so you could do $4,000 total between those four carriers within your first 90 days. You're also going to get additional lead credit if you're going to conference.
Yep.
I mean, the ability for you all to make quick, easy money within your first 3 months, man, it's fantastic.
It's pretty sweet.
It is. It is. And one thing that Elijah just said, if you're doing 2,500 2 months consecutively, you guys, he said, that's two policies basically. Sometimes that's only one. If you have an FE, somebody that's a final expense, I mean, sometimes that's just one policy that you have to do for the entire month, and you could potentially get that bonus, right? I encourage you, especially in the beginning, like this is so important, is for you to reach out to your warm market, your friends, your family. And why do we push that so much? It's not so you can go make money off of your friends and family. It's so you can get that practice as well. You want to be able to be good when you're sitting in front of clients. So practicing in front of your friends, your family, maybe people in your community, that's your church, or events that your kids are involved in, or something of that nature. It's giving you the practice, and then lo and behold, people need the help as well, right?
Mhm.
So with that being said, any other thing that you wanted to advise them on when it comes to the slingshot bonus, Elijah?
No, I would just like make a plan to hit it. There's no reason anybody on this call should be at an 80 or an 85% by the time we're all in Denver. Like you could get at least your first raise in the month of August. And then with conference in September, yeah, we're going to be gone for a week, but like you could still do the 7,500 required to get to a 90 in 3 or 4 weeks while we're even in the month of September. But I would just have a game plan. Um, and part of that game plan is point number two, a schedule. Michael, I see your hand up. If you got a question, buddy, we're gonna do a Q&A after we go through these. We're gonna be a little bit quicker today. We're
Oh,
not gonna
okay.
go for
Got
the
it.
whole
Okay.
hour.
Sorry.
But yeah, we'll make sure we get everybody's questions answered. So, as far as the schedule goes, Violet, I mean, we all know schedule is important. I mean, it's part of the four cornerstones, right? Resources, schedule, activity, system, or the four. Is that the four? That's the four keys. What am I saying? But when you were brand new, I'm curious how your schedule started versus what it looks like now. And also, can you speak to just like the importance of having a schedule? Because a lot of folks coming into insurance for the first time, their schedule was told to them by wherever they were working. You were told, hey, this is when you start it during the day. This is when people take lunch breaks. This is when you can clock out. And you can take some time off, but you got to submit it for approval first. And you have to accrue some PTO. And here, nobody's gonna do that for you. Like you get to set your own schedule, you get to
Oh my
set your own
gosh.
hours.
Isn't that awesome?
It's so freaking awesome. However, it's like a double-edged sword. It could be life-changing or it could ruin you financially if you're not disciplined.
Well, and
So,
and I appreciate you saying that, Elijah, because that's the thing, I think a lot of us get into this type of career because of the ability that it's remote. I can work in my pajamas if I want to, and I can create my own schedule. And guess what, guys? If you don't know me, I am a single mom. I have two little girls. I run my business and I raise my two kids completely on my own. And I am going to share my calendar with you guys of what that looks like. Because here's the thing, what you said also, Elijah, is most of us did have a 9 to 5, or if you're anything like myself, I came from the restaurant world, to where, hey, they gave me my schedule on a Saturday night, and that's what my life looked like for the next week because that's what someone told me my life had to look like, right? Now on this end, we get to create our own lives. But if you are not super strict with your schedule, you guys, you're gonna land up doing dishes at 2 in the afternoon just because you want to. Or guess what? All of a sudden, I have so much laundry to do at 9 a.m. on a Monday. So don't let your schedule run you. You run your schedule. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that. I'm going to share my calendar with you guys and I'm going to speak through what you should be marking on your schedule if it's not already there. Okay. And I'm sorry, my schedule looks crazy, but hopefully your guys's should look like this soon enough. Okay. Literally, this is my week, you guys. I have a lot of things
whoa,
going on.
it's a lot of purple.
Yes. It's just I like color, guys.
Yeah.
So this is what my calendar looks like. Now here's the thing. You're gonna block off your sleep time if you have to. But I'm working out. I have my personal time. This is me every single day of the week. I read. I journal. This is my me time. This is where I get my peace and my serenity in every single day before I start my day. This is when I'm reading the book of the month, you guys. And I'm a religious journaler every single day. It's what I enjoy doing. I'm working out. And if I'm not working out on that day, I'm taking extra me time. I'm also getting my kids ready for school during this time when school is going on. So making sure that they look well dressed and their breakfast is ready and all of those things. Then what happens? Let's say it's Monday. I got all my calls already plugged in, you guys. I have my calls for the national call dialed in here. I have my AO calls. So whatever calls, like the production call that you want to be on, they need to be on your calendar. Like no ifs, ands, buts about it. They need to be on your calendar steady every single week. Because guess what? If I go to the next week, they're still there. If I go to the following week, all my meetings are still there, you guys. Lock it in. Guess what? Give yourself that time to rest. Take a block for lunch, you guys. That's your reset for you. I need it. I do. And we all have lunches if we worked a typical 9 to 5 anyway. So take your lunch. Make sure you get your lunch in there. But then guess what? It's back to the grind. Now afterwards, today I have how many meetings? Or well, let me see. How many appointments do I have? One,
You got
two, three,
16 on the
four,
week.
five, six, seven. 7 appointments here today. Got a couple of meetings going on. You know, make sure you got those on your calendars. You need to block out your dialing time. If it's not on your calendar, you're not dialing. I guarantee you're not going to do it. Just do it. Put the blocks on your calendar. I like to dial on Saturday mornings, you guys. That is my day that I like to dial. That is where I get the most absolute contacts from people. And I'm able to fill up my entire week the next week. So make sure that's on your calendar. If you're taking time off, like I had to yesterday for my kiddos, my kid had a doctor's appointment and we went and played all day. I'm blocking that time off. That's me time. I don't care. Sorry guys, I'm not working. Same thing with my mommy time, my dinners, my all of that. Make sure everything of that is on your calendar, because when your calendar starts looking like this, I'm gonna have to fast forward some weeks ahead here. Like this, basically, this is when my kids go back to school. This is what my calendar looks like. So all of this white spots, I need to fill up with my dialing and my appointment time. If it's white, it's going to give me anxiety because that means I'm not
My my
kidding.
calendar would give you anxiety then because I need the white space. I'm a little bit different, but I love
No.
this.
If it's white, it gives me anxiety because that means that's too much time for me to do laundry, and all of a sudden my floors need vacuumed and I need a sweep, and yeah. So that is my calendar, you guys. You have to make sure that you are scheduling that time to dial. People ask me all the time, Violet, what's the best time to dial? I mean, when people are home, right? So let's be honest. First thing in the mornings is always a good time. You're catching people when they're going to work, they're starting their day, whatever that may look like. In the evenings when people are home. And then I'm a firm dial on Saturday person. Um,
I like it.
yeah.
So my schedule's a little bit different, but I'll point out the similarities first. The similarities are number one, I have family time blocked off ahead of time. So on Sunday is when I sit down and I kind of game plan my week. I'm also a big journaler, Violet. I wonder if there's something to that. Getting up early, having time to reflect, you're writing stuff down, you're planning your week. The thing about being an entrepreneur that's like really liberating is you can do whatever the frick you want to do. The calendar is your boss, guys. The calendar, whatever's on the calendar is what you should be doing. And the first thing that goes on there is I'm blocking off when am I not working, number one. Typically, I mean, it doesn't matter, but I block off the evenings. So from like 7 or 7:30 on, my shit's on do not disturb. If a client calls me, I'm calling them tomorrow. I'm not doing work stuff, I have to have family time. The the second thing that I put on is recurring are the conference calls. Same time, same place every week. I was talking to an agent yesterday. Bro forgot that the national call was on Wednesdays. You want to know why? Didn't have it in his calendar. And so if you have it set up as recurring, you know what you're doing when. The next thing that I have blocked off is arguably the most important thing, and that's dial time. Uh, Dial whenever like you don't have appointments. That's kind of what I would say. When I first started, we were big weekend dialers. Me personally now, not my favorite thing to be doing. And so I'm a big like Monday through Friday guy with the occasional appointments on Saturday. So the way my schedule looks, if you wanted to kind of mimic mine, my schedule may not work for you because I don't have kids yet. And so take what I say with a grain of salt. You do not need to do exactly what I'm doing. Figure out what works for you. The main thing is you put the big rocks in the jar first, guys. The big rocks are family time, conference calls, dial time. So for me, I'm dialing my first main dial session is Monday morning, 9 a.m. sharp. Eastern. I'm at my desk like clockwork, guys. Even if I got up at 8 a.m. that day, I'm at my desk by 9 and I'm on the phone dialing and I'm booking up for Monday afternoon and Tuesday, and I will dial up until noon for the cook call. Take a break to get on the cook call. Afterwards, I'll dial for a little bit more, and then at 1:30 Eastern, I have a base shop call with Chris and some of the guys and Andrea. And so I'll be on that call. And then in the middle of the day, from like, I don't know, maybe 2 to 4, maybe 12 to 2, 12 to 3, the middle of the day is when I have that white space that I talked about. I don't really have anything planned unless I happen to book an appointment. Typically in that time block is when I'm walking the dogs, I'm having lunch. Maybe I'll work out, hit the gym. If I need to run errands, which I don't typically do during the week, that's when I'm doing it. And then from 3 to 7 or from 2 to 7, that is running appointments time. Or if I'm not running an appointment, I'm booking an appointment for Tuesday. And so Monday is like my big setup day, whereas with Violet, it sounds like Saturday is her big setup day. And so on Tuesday, guess what? We're doing the same thing. 9 a.m., dialing in the morning, a little bit of some white space in the middle of the day to call carriers, do whatever. Afternoon and evening is when I'm running appointments, and I'll occasionally book appointments in the morning. It's just kind of when people are available. Wednesday, we're on the national call. We also have the Farm Series AO key leader call that I've been on too recently. And I'll dial in the morning for Thursday. I have 6 appointments this afternoon right after this. And in the evening, I'm running appointments and or dialing in between appointments or during no shows. Thursday's a lot more relaxed because I don't have a dial session scheduled for Thursday morning. Thursday, I'm running appointments. I'm doing the production call. Maybe I'm on the sales deep dive call at 11. And then Friday, I'm so glad we get to control our schedule because Friday, typically, I ain't working a whole lot. I'm recording the podcast. I'm playing golf. I already have a tea time scheduled for tomorrow. And so Friday is like my cleanup day. If I do anything on Friday, it's just making putting out content, doing something that recharges my batteries. Maybe that's going to the beach for you. Maybe it's going to get your nails done or go to the spa or do something that just replenishes your batteries. I think having that on your calendar is super valuable. And the only like real income producing activity that I do on Fridays is I'll dial for like an hour and a half or 2 hours tops, and I book 3 to 5 appointments for Saturday. And if I book appointments for Saturday, they're all before 1 p.m. So if I do work Saturday, it's just in the morning, and I can almost guarantee if I got 3 or 4 appointments, I'm writing something. And then I'm off the rest of the weekend. Sundays, non-negotiable family day. Like I'm not doing anything work related on Sunday. I don't care if somebody told me I could write 5 grand on Sunday, I'll write it throughout the week. And that's the calendar. And so if you're not using a calendar, you're handicapping yourself big time. You need to be using something. I don't care if it's Google Calendar or what, but you put the big rocks in first. Then you put the smaller rocks. The smaller rocks are probably things like calling your agents and figuring out if they need something, or calling carriers, or getting amendments and stuff filled out. Those are less important. Um, any questions on the calendar? Because I think Violet's calendar is awesome. I think color coding it's really cool. She's got a ton of family time on there, and
I was gonna hit on two things, and John,
yeah.
we'll answer your question in 1 second. Just to kind of piggyback off of what you said in reference to our calendar here, Elijah, is I do have a lot of family time, and you guys can set your life like that. If you chose to make one entire day your dial day and then run your appointments for the next 3 days, you could set your schedule like that. This
Hmm.
is your life, that you can do whatever you want in this, but you have to stick to that like it is your job. Because guess what, guys? This is your job. So
Hmm.
stick to that, right? The other thing that I just wanted to kind of say in reference to our calendars is it's like, for me, if it's not on there, it's not getting done. I'm really big on that. I hate to say it that way, but you did mention about like us pushing our business. If we have carriers that we have to call, if we have clients to call, if we have I need to submit stuff into my tracker, into Opt, or whatever that busy work is what I call it. Let's not do that when we're supposed to be dialing.
Yeah.
That's a non-negotiable, right? You don't fill in your busy work time when you're supposed to be having that as your I'm running appointment time. That schedule that for times that is the downtime, which in my opinion is going to be like 12 to 4 p.m. That's kind of downtime for me.
Yeah.
So,
Kind
but
of in the
John,
middle of your day too, just like
yeah,
mine.
yeah, yeah.
One,
John, what was your question, bud?
oh yeah, go
My
ahead, John.
question is, and this is for Elijah too, because you have people on your team. How do you end up fitting in agents into your calendar
I mean,
at
I
the
just try
same
to make
time?
myself available. Sometimes
Well,
Cody knows this. When Cody calls me, I don't always answer. If I'm running an appointment or something, I just
uh-huh.
call him back after. But typically, like if you're helping your agents, we're not doing hour-long counseling sessions with our agents. It's, hey, where is this? Hey, what carrier? Hey, what product? And you're on and off the phone in 2 or 3 minutes, and you can have a few of those checkpoints throughout your day or your week. But if you're and I don't put that on the calendar because I don't know when somebody's going to need help, but it's just kind of making yourself available. If you're recruiting, I would just have certain time blocks in the same way that you block off time for dialing and appointments, have certain time blocks blocked off for when you're going to do interviews. And I was talking to Edward Pritchett recently, and he posted about this as far as the schedule goes. And one of the things that he talks about is like early on, he dedicated around 5 to 10% of his time helping his team and doing recruiting. The rest of his time was spent moving the needle, which is booking appointments and running appointments and trying to develop himself. And so if you're spending half your week recruiting, I personally think you're doing it wrong unless you're at Chris's level, for example, when he's not in the field anymore and he can spend his income producing activity is doing interviews. And so that's the equivalent to the production. But I would just block off a couple times. Like if I was like gung ho recruiting right now, I would probably have Thursdays and Fridays as my big recruiting days because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday, that's production time. And so it's just putting it in the calendar. But I wanted to paint us another scenario. Dylan Crane is a guy who Tyler said it on the call yesterday, made me laugh so hard. He said Dylan's a robot if you've not met him. And having met the guy, he is a freaking robot. And that's not a knock on him. He's just like robotic with it. And last year he sold 1.9 million on his own pen, which has never been done before. And his schedule was uber intense. This guy was on the phone working from 7 a.m. his time in Texas, 7 a.m. his time. He would start calling East Coast leads, and he would be in the Zoom room, in his Zoom office, working till 2 in the morning, guys. Till 2 in the morning. This guy would sleep on average like 5, 6 hours a night. And he did that for a whole year. Now, that sounds like really, really extreme. Me personally, I would not do well with that kind of schedule.
Either.
But he did it for a period of time. And now his team's the size of Chris's in 2 years, just to put that into perspective. His team's doing 1.5 million a month, 300 grand a week, and he's still putting up 50 to 100K months on his own pen. So if you're in a place financially where like you need to get after it, the beautiful part about what we do is the insurance companies that pay us seem to have unlimited money, guys. And so if you want to work 14 hours a day, there's nothing stopping you. You can do that. You can also do it for a week if you want. And then go back to a normal schedule. Like if you need to ramp it up or you have a big goal, you can adjust your schedule a little bit and expand your workday. The way Dylan did it is he's central time. So he was calling East Coast leads part of the day. And at nighttime, he was calling folks in Hawaii and California and Alaska. And so like you can get creative with your schedule by utilizing a non-resident license. But I just wanted to kind of harp on the importance of a schedule. And if you don't have one, you're totally just like winging this. And I don't know about you, but I don't like winging a paycheck. I like knowing I'm going to make 25, 30 grand a month. And I wouldn't be able to do that without a schedule.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. It starts with a schedule. Um, And just to kind of continue further with our conversations of some of the things that we're going to talk about here with y'all today is, let's say we got everything plugged in on our calendar and we set a whole bunch of appointments. Now, Elijah and I both, we got a bunch of appointments today. Now I'm sure if Elijah is anything like myself, we don't prep anymore, you guys.
It's true.
But when you are new, you need to prep for your appointments because if you do not, you are going to be lost. So what does that look like when we prep for an appointments? Well, I got my lead. Me, I'm kind of old school. I still like to print everything. So I have my lead here in my hand. It's got Mr. and Mrs. Smith. It's got their name, their address. I got some of their health info when I was on the phone booking the appointment for them. So how am I going to prep? Well, me personally, I am probably going to log into Virtual Mentor and I'm going to log their info in, their name, their date of birth. And guess what? Virtual Mentor is going to help me to do some work. That is the beauty that you guys have of working at Symmetry. You didn't have to figure it out and go to every single carrier website like Elijah and I did when we were brand new. So you have Virtual Mentor that's going to be able to set that up for you to where it's going to tell you exactly, hey, my client is 40 years old, husband and wife. They want full mortgage payoff potentially, right? This is our scenarios. Oh, thank you, Elijah, for walking us through. I love that. And I apologize. I didn't mean Virtual Mentor. I meant Navigator.
Oh, well,
But
works the same.
yeah, that's okay. I mean, either or, right? Navigator. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking this morning. It's still early for me. I need more coffee.
That's true. That's true. It's
Um,
only 9:30 your time.
so with that, yeah, I will plug everything in here. And let's say I'm gonna do full mortgage payoff. Their mortgage is 300,000. I'm gonna look at what the option is for that. I'm gonna get half the mortgage. And then
Bruce
I
gonna
am,
put them in Colorado.
yeah,
You said their loan amount's 300
let's say
grand?
300,000.
Okay. All right. We can just
Now,
make some stuff up here if you
I
want.
I don't even do it that way, Elijah. I
Really?
Yeah, you can go back. Go
Hold
back, my
on.
friend.
What do you know that I don't?
Oh, well, maybe I should be the person sharing, huh?
Go for it. Yeah, I thought you had to go through all that.
No.
I'm going to put a
Right.
link in the chat too while Violet's going through this to an underwriting cheat sheet that was made by somebody in Symmetry. It's a Google Doc and it is freaking phenomenal. Um, this is like if they have health issues, how to figure out what carrier and product is going to work best for them.
Yeah.
So save that,
Um,
guys.
cool. Let me get in here. I will share my screen and just kind of redo what Elijah was just showing y'all here. Um, so you can go in here, add a client. I got Mr. Smith, their date of birth. I don't know. I'm just putting something in, y'all. And we're going to save that. Quote and apply. We're going to do a term. They're in Alaska today. 300,000 is the full mortgage payoff. We're going to do a 30-year. The quick quote right here, you guys
Ah,
can do. That's what Elijah missed.
okay.
If you do the personalized quote, this is going to be probably better if you have some of the health information, you guys. But one thing I will say is, guess what? That client that told you they were perfectly healthy over the phone, they probably lied. And now all of a sudden, when you're actually meeting with them, they're taking 4 different medications. So make your life easy. I would say just go with the quick quote. This is to assume they have basic health issues, your typical blood pressure, cholesterol, stuff like that. Maybe they're on a small anxiety dose because everybody's on anxiety these days. But right here, look, 30 years paying off the guy's entire mortgage. SBLI is quoting me 114 and 6 cents. Going
And
down.
they're one of the carrier kickers too. So you write with SBLI, you go and get a bonus.
Yes, sir. We got Banner. We have other options that they're gonna get here. If you're trying to be the most competitive price-wise, guys, go with these ones. They pay next day too. So if
Yeah.
you get that submitted today, they will pay you tomorrow. And then here's super easy. Don't make your life hard. Take your lead if you're old school like me and write your info on here and or put a note in your calendar, however you're going to do it, and make all your notes. Now let's say I'm going to do half the mortgage. So all I got to do is type it in here, guys. Look at how simple I just made my life.
Mm. And on the left-hand side where it says learn or demo e-app, if you guys have never used Navigator, never written one of these products, you can go through like a test drive and see what the entire process is like. That way you're not doing it for the first time live with a client. But yeah,
Yeah, so and then give yourself one more option I would say is just if for some reason this person literally doesn't have a dime left on them for, whatever purposes, give them like a last a scenario, maybe 100 grand, maybe that's 75, something like that. The cool thing with these is that you can literally create it however you want. If you know someone is older as well, let's say they're 52, you can go back here and adjust to final expense. It's going to give you different options here. This one with final expense, guys, you got to do the personalized quote. But hey, guess what? It's going to put you with the best carriers either way. So let the system work for you.
The
So
only thing I would add, I love Navigator. I don't use
yeah,
it all the time because we just use Navigator if it's a digital product primarily, but you can use it as like a filtering system to let you know which carrier and product people are likely going to qualify for. Virtual Mentor does the same thing, except there's no applications or quotes associated with it. It just says AMAM Home Certainty or Americo T100 if you put in their health. The I want everybody, if you missed it, to add that Google Doc that I just put in the chat. Save that, please, to your Google Drive. I use it probably 5 times a week, y'all. It has every condition under the sun, every carrier, every product. It has build charts. Like, it's freaking awesome. I don't know who came up with it, but shout out to them. Um, but here's the general rule of thumb. Okay, when I was brand new, I was worried that I was going to sign people up for the wrong thing. I was like, am I going to like screw this person? The truth is, we don't sell anything, and I mean anything, that can hurt somebody financially or put them in a worse off spot than they already are. Everything we sell helps people. So I want you guys to understand that. In terms of like what to show people, here's the general rule of thumb. If people are 65 and under and healthy, when I mean healthy, I mean they got blood pressure, cholesterol, and type 2 diabetes. That's healthy. If they have anything else, heart attacks, strokes, uh, seizures, cancer in the last 5 years, if they're maybe super healthy but they're 78 years old, we're not showing people a full payoff and a term, guys. We're not. And so if they're 65 and under and healthy, typically we're showing a term or an IUL for a full payoff or a partial payoff. If they're retired, living on a fixed income, or they're older and they have health issues, we're showing whole life or final expense. And the way that we're positioning it is critical period or mortgage payment protection or equity protection, whatever you want to call it. And then within those two categories, right? So under term and IULs, I mean, we got a bunch of options depending on what carrier you like, whatever product you like. Same thing for the final expense and whole life. The only thing is, if you're using the navigator, here's the caveat: expect an instant decision unless you're writing Banner. that might go to underwriting, and you're going to get paid more. If you're writing with like Mutual of Omaha Living Promise, me personally, I never write that product, guys, because I don't want to take a 40% haircut on commission. So I'm writing something like QSFP or QSFC or Americo Eagle Select or Transamerica Final Expense. So like there's so many options for each of those two categories. Basically, when you book an appointment, you want to get some health info. You don't want to be like figuring out that they have cancer on the booking call when you're prepared to show term. Because unless you know how to pivot really quickly, you're going to get flustered. You're not going to run as smooth of an appointment. And the truth is, I pretty much know what I'm selling somebody before they even pick up the phone and I run the appointment. Like once we book it, I know generally, unless they're not telling me stuff, I know generally what they'll qualify for based off their health. And you want to just get good at asking those questions. And if you get thrown a curveball during the appointment, that's what the underwriting cheat sheet is for. Or Navigator, you can even put in people's medications now too, which is really sick. Um, does that make sense to everybody on how to kind of narrow down like which category we're showing? Because the category of which you show, whether it's term or critical period, that's way more important than what carrier you're doing whole life with. You know what I mean? Does that not make sense to anyone? Go ahead, Michael.
So, um, guys, does everybody know the website sfgquotes.com?
That's a good one. You should put that in the chat.
I'm going to do that right now.
Yeah. It's like a universal quoter, essentially, which is nice.
And the reason this is important is because if you didn't make a bookmark of the sheet for the underwriting cheat sheet that Elijah just gave you, SFG quotes is a whole lot easier to remember. Elijah, would you mind showing your screen on the
Yeah.
SFG quotes so that
For sure. This is what this looks like, y'all. So like if you go to like say Banner, for example, it should take me to the navigator to run a quote. So like it'll take you directly to the site. Let's quote Moo. Boom. We're quoting IULE already. And let's see. We got all the carriers. Mortgage Protection University. Y'all should sign up for that. That's $50 well spent. I don't know why they're promoting goat leads. Underwriting cheat sheet. Here it is. Look how cool this is, y'all. So every carrier has their build chart. Let's say we got somebody who's had seizures. They're 76 and has seizures. Well, we're just going to scroll down to the seizure section. And if it's petite mal, they can get term. If it's over 2 years, they can get QSFP. Eagle Select's fine. Transamerica accepts everybody pretty much. So you're pretty much always going to see Select or Preferred for Transamerica. But these are just tools that help make your job easier. So I would bookmark them because when you're new, it's hard to remember all that.
Absolutely. And one other thing I kind of want to hit on when we're talking about this too, you guys, is because, Elijah's building. I personally am an agency owner. I would love if my agents would text me or call me mid-appointment. Literally, if they're struggling, they have issues, do not hesitate to reach out. Every single one of us should be connected to school or some group WhatsApp or something to where you have those other connections. If you can't get a hold of your upline, you guys, reach out to your team. This is what we are here for. We're here to, lean on one another. Another thing that I will tell you is if you are ever truly hung up, like that underwriting cheat sheet is just not giving you whatever that, maybe it's a certain disease or something that you've never heard of before, you can call the carriers, you guys. Do not be afraid to call the carriers. Every single carrier that we have, and you can find them on HQ, has an underwriting department, and you can call and talk to someone and say, hey, I have a 56-year-old female who has A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I've never heard of this. Would you accept them? Would you decline them? Would you rate them? They will give you the answer. I've been doing this for 6 years, you guys. There's still times that something will happen because I'm not a doctor. I don't know it all. Something will come up that I'm like, ooh, I don't know that one. I need to call and find out. So do your due diligence as well. I would just say that.
That's a good point. Great
Yeah,
point. There was one
yeah.
last thing I was going to say, and I lost my train of thought. It'll come back to me when it's no longer
Can I
relevant. But
can I ask a quick question?
yeah, I was going to
Sure.
say we can roll into. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Go ahead, Cody.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll be quick. I want to show you guys if you want additional training on how to prep for appointments. Um, like if you're like, hey, I still don't know what I'm doing. You're gonna go here. Okay. You're gonna get. Let me move the camera. In Fast Start, it is everybody should have gone through Fast Start, but it is gonna be, I believe it's step 30. Yeah, step 30 is appointment prep, y'all. So if you don't know what you're doing, probably you should go through Fast Start. And then there's even more in Base Camp. Step 4, prepare for appointments, running appointments. So I just want to point this out. Like I was talking to Violet about this earlier. There's literally enough training in HQ that if somebody hired you and never said anything to you ever again, never helped you with anything, there's enough training in here that you could figure this out and become an agency owner and an elite producer all on your own. Now, having access to your upline makes that process a little easier. However, there's training for every single aspect of what we do, and it's typically in these phases. But the prepping for appointments is right here if you didn't know.
Yeah, and I'm gonna point out an obvious in case you guys didn't know this as well is, obviously we have HQ, which for me, guys, when I first started in the insurance industry, I had nothing like this. I had my upline. That's what I had. And I had my upline tell me, go to the carrier website and look at their underwriting guidelines. And this is how you're going to figure out how to write apps. So I'm just saying, you guys have so much information at your fingertips. And one thing I want you to understand also is that you have the internet at your fingertips. We have Chat GPT and all of these different things that you literally can figure all of this stuff out if you're hung up on something. Like, we have so much resources these days, you guys. It's just like Elijah said, you could become an agency owner and above just by following the Symmetry process. So, Cody, did you have an additional question or did you still just have your hand up?
Oh, no, I did have a question. And I apologize for the camera. I'm on the road today. Elijah knows this is my travel day. But the question I had for both of you on this, as far as Navigator, when you plug that in, you shouldn't quote that rate though, right? Um, to the client until you go through the app, or is that okay just to roll with an approximate? Hey, this is a ballpark, or how are you guys wording that? Can that
Uh,
get you in a bind?
yeah.
By because I,
So
I did get in a bind, remember on one, and I was just curious on that. So
yeah. So, I mean, the rate is always going to be subject to underwriting. Like, it depends on what the insurance carrier sees on their prescription history and if the client's being totally upfront and honest with you about everything that they've been prescribed. I will say Navigator's pretty accurate. However, like if you're quoting QSFP, for example, the whole life with AMAM, they'll oftentimes show you a preferred rate and then there's a standard rate and a tobacco rate. And you may quote preferred and then it comes back standard. And so what I tell people, if I'm quoting preferred, I let them know, hey, this is the rate for folks that are like top tier health. You're taking a cholesterol and a blood pressure medication. If you were prescribed anything else, there's a chance it could come back as standard. And if it's more than you want to spend, we can adjust the coverage at that point before anything is submitted. And so I just let them know, hey, this could happen. Um, Most of the time it doesn't. Like every now and then I write a policy, it comes back at a different rate class, and then we can adjust it at that point. But I would
So
quote
it's
whatever it's
good to
showing you.
give
I
them
wouldn't make up a
ballpark
number.
there.
I wouldn't tell
So
people, hey, this is a ballpark because you need
okay,
to get people to commit to something. Nobody's going to commit to a ballpark. They commit to
okay,
knowing what it costs. But before anything is fully submitted, they know exactly what it's going to cost because a lot of these carriers have the HIPAA signature, which does the underwriting, and then before everything's finalized, we know what rate class they're going to get approved for before it's submitted. And if we need to go over numbers and adjust the face amount, we can.
okay. Thank you. One other question, just real quick. So I've got a meeting tomorrow evening with a gentleman that, and I just want to make sure I heard that right on the critical period. Are you using final expense? If you know, like this gentleman has had a clean bill of health for a year, but and he's not taking any prescriptions at all, but he was treated for cancer. Um, again, a clean bill of health, but it was over a year ago, but it wasn't 5 years.
Yeah.
And he's in his 70s. Is that something then that you would be looking more? The wife is completely healthy, nothing wrong, no prescriptions. And he's naturally shooting for full payoff on
Hell no.
it's about 380. So
No.
we're gonna have to go with him on a
Cody,
what
were you
at that
were
point.
you present when we went over this, buddy?
Again, I was driving. I was asking if would you go to final expense for him or
Hell
just nothing?
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
okay. That's what I
And,
want to make sure I did understand. So
Yeah. For both of them, dude.
100%. That's one of the things that Elijah did say a little bit, guys, in case you did miss that, is anybody who's 65 and older for the most part, you know what I mean? You need to do an FE. You need to get really good at that critical period.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of money to be made there. And when you explain it to your clients that, hey, this is going to take care of your mortgage for whatever the time period is going to be, 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever that looks like. If he wants that maximum coverage, just say, hey, guess what? We're going to pay for the mortgage for 2 years and give him that maximum coverage. But you don't ever, again, like 65 and older, don't ever show term.
Yeah.
There's no point.
It's
I don't
all
care
in
if
how
he's
he's
healthy or
you
not.
set
completely
it up,
prepped.
Cody.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
completely prepped for the shorter end. So I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not in a bind at all. I just that was what I'd asked you about yesterday, or texted you that I wanted to discuss because I knew I didn't feel like he could get covered. So
No. He can get something, but just look at the underwriting cheat sheet and go to the cancer section, and then you can narrow down which carrier and product is going to be best for him. Odds are it'll be Americo Eagle Select or maybe Transamerica. Just depends on how long ago with cancer. But real quick, and then we can answer everybody else's questions. It's all in how you set it up. So if you're talking to somebody who's 76 and had cancer 3 years ago, everybody we talk to wants the full payoff, but none of them know two things about insurance. And so the way I position it is I let them know, look, this is one option, it's the full payoff. It's hella expensive unless you want to pay a second mortgage payment. You don't want this option, and you're not going to get approved for it. Second option, pretty similar. Third option, most popular, most affordable, easiest to qualify for, pays the mortgage for 6 months, a year, 2 years. I mean, that's a dumbed down version of how I explain it. But when you position it like that, Cody, and then you ask them, hey, between these three, which one sounds like it fits your needs best? It is like clockwork. These people always pick the third one. And so you're not having to convince them to not do the full payoff. They're already convinced. You're just showing them which which carrier is going to get them approved the easiest, and you can show them 2 years, a year, 6 months, whatever time frame you like. But yeah, you're you're not writing a full payoff on somebody who's 70, let alone somebody who had cancer a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, we want to open it up for some Q&A, and then I got to jump here in a minute.
Same.
But just
What's up,
unmute if
John?
you have a question.
What are the three questions that you put in your journal, or what do you put in either of your journals? I know
Three
that you do
questions.
this on a Friday, and I try to catch this. There's three things you put.
Oh, you're talking about like our schedule?
No,
No,
you
he's
put
talking
something in
about
your
us
journal.
journaling in the morning.
What do you
What
put? You said
successful people
what worked
do.
good, what worked awful, what's worth
Yeah, yeah,
$10
yeah.
trillion, who
Violet, you
pissed
go
you
first.
off. What are those three things?
This is a good question, John. I like this. Go ahead, Violet.
Hey, I'm not going to be quick enough to put anything up for, your Amazon purchase here today, you guys. But if anything, you can get the 5-minute gratitude journal. That is actually one of the journals that I use. It's super quick and easy. Just it's kind of like what you're talking about, John, of being able to say, hey, these are the couple of things that I'm grateful for, or maybe it's a couple of things that I want to have happen for today. I'm hoping that today these things I'm going to be able to accomplish these things. I love that journal so much just because it has this segment like at the end you can write it at nighttime and show what you have accomplished throughout the day. And it's weird how that manifestation stuff works because 9 out of 10 times if I go, you know what, I'm going to do 4K AP today in sales, I do. It just it's cool how that happens. So yeah.
And
For
were there
me,
some?
I just put the link to my planner. I use the full focus planner and it has me every week kind of audit my week. What went well, what didn't go well, what am I going to keep doing, what am I going to stop doing, and what are my big three tasks or projects, if you will, for the week. On a daily basis, I'm pretty good about doing this every day, but I love journaling gratitude, five, six, seven things that I'm like really thankful for. And I try to do different items each day. Just primes your mind because what we do is mental gymnastics, guys. Like it is just managing your being able to regulate your emotions and being able to like mentally be calm, cool, and collected, even when shit's hitting the fan. And so I think journaling and having a calendar and processing and reflecting is just like costs you nothing to do, but pays massive, massive dividends. And so I would add that to your habit list.
Thank you both very much for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get paid to endorse Full Focus Planner, by the way. They're like 45 bucks a piece, so they're not the cheapest planner, but they're my favorite. And you can't see it, but on the bottom of my bookshelf, I have like 12 filled planners from over the years. And so
Love it.
um, they're my favorite. They look like this. They're really cool. But yeah, any other questions, guys?
Thank you both. Priceless.
Yeah, dude.
Awesome. Well, I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready to work for the day. It's 10 a.m. over here
Let's
on the
get it.
West Coast. So hang out. Let's work together, you guys.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Have an
Well,
awesome Thursday, y'all.
see ya.